Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my Week 9 Premier League predictions. And what a weekend of football we just had. We saw Man United get obliterated by Leicester away from home, destroying their undefeated record away from home. We had Liverpool absolutely batter Watford away from home. I predicted a 2-0 victory. I didn't see Firmino scoring a hat-trick. I didn't see Salah dominating like that. But in terms of Week 9 fixtures, let's just hope for more of the same. More drama, more entertainment. We got two of the biggest clubs in England facing off with each other. Manchester United versus Liverpool. We got other amazing games like West Ham versus Spurs and a London derby right there. But before going this video, you know I'm going to say, make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you guys give me your own predictions in the comment section. Who's going to win in Week 9 Premier League fixtures? So the first game I'm going to start off with, isn't it obvious what I'm going to start off with? The biggest game in England and maybe the biggest game in all of Europe in terms of football. We've got Manchester United versus Liverpool, the two most successful English clubs in history. These two teams have been dominating the English game for the last 40-50 years or so. But going into this game, Liverpool have all the confidence. Manchester United have no confidence whatsoever. Liverpool have scored, 3+ goals in their last 8 games or so. And then Manchester United have been struggling to get wins all season. One team, which is Liverpool, are still in all 4 major competitions. And Manchester United, by next month, may be knocked out of 2 already. So literally both teams are in binary opposite forms, and let's see on this game who's actually going to win. I feel like there's only one real favourite in this game, and although I may be a Liverpool fan, I'm just going to give a spoiler. It's not even going to be a prediction. I think Liverpool are going to win and wipe the floor with Manchester United. I honestly believe that. In my whole of hearts, I honestly believe this is going to happen. And I know I'm hearing those little murmurs, those little whispers, like when it comes to these sort of games, forms go out the window. But why should it even be like that? I know Manchester United are home. I know Manchester United are probably thinking we're going to make our stamp on this game because the fans are going to be with us. But are the fans really with Manchester United? Are the fans really with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Yes, the 12th man really does help in football, but that's if your team is united. And Manchester is not really united at this moment. The team, in the first 25 minutes, if the fans start to feel like Liverpool are dominating the game, they're going to start to growl, they're going to start to moan, they're not going to be optimistic, and that's going to feed into the players' performance, and they might make those nervy passes, those nervy mistakes. Liverpool can feed off this and potentially get to goal. But let's even forget that. Let's say the fans are into this game. Let's say they're optimistic. Let's say they have the passion, the desire to win this game and show the fully backing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let's say all these factors in a hypothetical world where probably none of these are going to be true. Let's say they're actually obtainable. Manchester United have been gifting away points at home all season, just like last season. Just like they did to Liverpool last year when we won the game 4-1 or 3-1 at Old Trafford. We've been picking up points. Other teams have been picking up points. So why should I expect this to be any different? So in terms of the game itself, I expect Liverpool to win. I think we're going to comfortably win. Did you see the passing against Watford? 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. It doesn't matter. The way we're moving the ball, silky smooth in the midfield, getting it to fullback. It was so entertaining to watch. And I know that's only Watford. But let's not act like Manchester United's midfield covers itself in glory. When they've been playing McFred, no ambition going forward. But even when they have Pogba and Matic, it's not any better like we saw against Leicester. You can literally put the ball through them no matter what. They can't really defend. They're not mobile enough to get close to players. So why should it be any different against Liverpool? It just shouldn't be. Liverpool have been in fine form. We just scored 5 goals against Watford. Firmino just scored a hat-trick. And I've even mentioned Salah, who's playing like he's the best player in the world. I've even mentioned Sadio Mane, who has been consistently this season so far finding the back of the net. So in terms of this game, I think Liverpool are going to go to Old Trafford and take Manchester United's lunch money and make Old Trafford their own home like they did last season. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory for Liverpool at Old Trafford. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Brighton versus Manchester City. And on paper, stylistically, this looks like the best matchup we're going to have all weekend in terms of Premier League football. Both managers, Graham Potter and Pep Guardiola, love to play in the front foot, love to do the high press, and love to play entertaining football. So I don't see otherwise why this game shall not be entertaining. But in terms of this game, it will be interesting to see what Graham Potter does. Is he going to tweak the system? Is he going to actually show appropriate respect to Pep Guardiola, but maintain his high presses at the same time? Is he going to tell his wing-backs in the back 3 and back 5 to come back to provide that protection? Because we know Cancelo love bombing forward and provide the overlap for the left winger like Foden, Sterling, or even Grealish. Is he going to do that? Or is he going to allow them to go forward and actually go for the win? And whatever happens, he's just going to live with the result. It will be interesting if he's going to play Lallana in that cam role, or is he going to play a box-to-box midfielder within those Brighton midfielders with Basuma to provide that extra layer of protection to deal with those Man City midfielders like Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, who have been in great form. What is Graham Potter going to do? He has a lot to think about coming in these weekdays, what tactics to deploy, and in the last two results against Man City, they have played them tough. So whatever Graham Potter does do, I feel like the Brighton fans should trust him. But in terms of this game, I just can't see how Man City are not going to win this game. They just got too much talent, too much firepower. Although they didn't do the yearly annual victory against Burnley and wipe the floor with them 5-0, they won 2-0 convincingly. Although Burnley had some chances, it was all dominated by Man City, the possession, and there was only one real team in this game. So going into this game, I feel like Brighton are going to struggle. Bernardo Silva has been in fine form, churning in 7 out of 10 performances, showing that why he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. When we thought literally in the summer he was out the back door going to be sold, but now he's been like one of the main players, mainstays in this Man City side. Kevin De Bruyne returning back to fine form, scoring that great goal on his left foot. So for Man City, there's a lot to be encouraged by. There's a lot of talent, and we all know they have the firepower to deal with smaller clubs like Brighton. Although they're playing well, Man City can make them look like a smaller club again. So in terms of this game, I feel like it's going to be a tough game, like we saw Arsenal travelling to Brighton. Obviously, the weather conditions will be better, but I'm going to be predicting a 2-0 victory for Man City. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Chelsea versus Norwich. The team which are top of the Premier League versus the team who are bottom of the Premier League. So there's only one way this game really will go. But let me not spoil my predictions because we all know what I'm going to say. But in terms of this game, let me just start off with Chelsea. What a heroic performance against Brentford. I did think they would pick up the victory, but oh my god, the way they dealt with Brentford's relentless attacks in the dying embers of the game in the last 20-30 minutes or so. I feel like Saar had an amazing game, showing that he can deal with the physicality of the Premier League. He can read the game well. I feel like Chalobah had good spots here and there within the game, showing that he can tackle Ivan Toney. And I feel like they dealt with the threat all game. Although there was the odd throw-in or whatever, and it was quite messy, Chelsea always found a way to clear the ball out. Other amazing performances. Loftus-Cheek turning in great performance after great performance, like against Southampton, like against Man City, and now against Brentford, showing that he's physical, showing that he's tough, showing that he can deal with any midfielders trying to get the ball off him, because he doesn't lose the ball. So let's see if he can continue this fine form. But I have to give Mendy his credit, showing that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I don't understand how he kept saving shot after shot. He kept putting his whole body on the line. And those sort of performances, I'm telling you, win you Premier League titles. But overall, I feel like Chelsea showed so much mental toughness. The mental energy they had sustained throughout the whole game. Their concentrations, no lapses throughout the whole game. And I found that extraordinary, because I feel like any other team probably would have broke. They probably would have broke down, especially those relentless chances Brentford kept creating. However, this game against Norwich, I know it's the Premier League and anything can happen, but let's be honest, this is a give me 3 points for Chelsea. At Stamford Bridge, got their home fans. Norwich have been gifting out points all seasons to every single team, still yet to win a game all season. Only scored 2 goals in the Premier League this season, when we know Chelsea have probably the best defence in Europe. So how dare I bet against Chelsea coming into this game? I would only be a fool. Romelu Lukaku, we know against the big teams he struggles, but against the smaller sides, we know he's a big time bully and always gets the goals against the smaller sides when it doesn't really matter. So expect him to bully the opposition and get a few goals in this game. And Chelsea fans will hope Tuchel tweaks his system yet again. Maybe provide that little more creativity in the side, play Havertz or Mount, because obviously they needed that 3-man midfield to cope with the physicality and the demands against Brentford. So they needed to shore it up with Kante, Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek. Remove one of them, maybe play Havertz or Mount in the hole behind Werner and Lukaku. You're going to have the creativity and the connection, and the link-up play is going to be there. So that's the only tweak I think Tuchel will do, because Norwich aren't very good side, so Chelsea can look to attack more. And Chilwell has been in fine form, scoring 3 goals in his last 3 games. So yeah, in terms of this game, easy victory for Chelsea, a give me 3 points, and a give me 3-0 victory, with Lukaku probably scoring 2 goals. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Brentford versus Leicester City. And outside the top 6 sides, these two are probably the 2 teams I enjoy watching the most. They play entertaining football, and although they've had opposite results in the last games or so, I feel like both teams should be proud of their performances. Leicester winning obviously against Man United, destroying them 4-2, and then you had Brentford pushing the European champions to the edge. Maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, they probably would have gotten a goal. But going to this game against Leicester, I feel like it's going to be very interesting. Brentford home again, and like we've seen all season against the top 6 sides, they have fought, they've been physical, they've shown they're up for these games, and it's not going to be an easy game for you to collect points. We saw them beat Arsenal, we saw them draw to Liverpool, so Leicester can't be thinking it's going to be a give me 3 points. But in terms of this game, I know Talisman, Maddison were absolutely amazing and phenomenal against Manchester United, but yet again, just like Chelsea, I feel like you need more tougher midfielders in it. So I feel like Samore obviously must start the physicality. I feel like his ball retention is going to be pivotal in this game. Then you got Ndidi. I know he's injured. Let's see if he's going to be able to start against Brentford. But you need a 2-man midfield who are going to be in those tackles, flying in, and who's going to be able to provide the defence that protection. But yeah, I feel Leicester are going to have to shore up. Suyonku is going to be so pivotal matching up against Ivan Toney because we know he's a threat, and Johnny Evans is going to be able to have to read the second ball. But in this game, I can't see anything but a draw. I feel like Brentford are too tough at home. They'll play you right to the end, and even if you take the lead, like we saw against Liverpool, they will come back with their roaring fans. Leicester, although have picked up points against Manchester United, they have been silly in the last few games, drawing games they should be winning. Against Crystal Palace, against Napoli, these games they should be winning, especially when they're winning 2-0. So in terms of this game, I'm going to be predicting a 1-1 draw between Brentford and Leicester. So the last game we're going to be predicting is West Ham versus Spurs. And we just saw West Ham literally win at Goodison Park. And we know Rafa Benitez is trying to make this ground a fortress, showing with his 100% win record. So what an amazing result for David Moyes, just like last year, winning at Goodison Park. And this was a vital win. West Ham needed this because the game against Brentford, they didn't really play well and they lost. So they needed to bounce back better than ever and actually collect the 3 points they deserve. And they outplayed Everton. I feel like they dominated from minute 1. They had possession control. Rice played absolutely marvellous, dictating the flow and the tempo of the whole game. So let's see if David Moyes tries to change this style of play, because obviously when it's a top 6 side, we know David Moyes. He wants to stay compact, defend as a team, as a unit, and break on them with pace. Let's see what David Moyes does, because we know Nuno Santos likes doing the same thing, sitting back. And Rafa Benitez did, but David Moyes was like, you know what, let's just go for it. So will David Moyes do the same thing against a defensive-minded manager? But yeah, man, it's a London derby. Everyone should be excited. I feel like both sets of fans will be excited for this one. And it'll be interesting to see who will actually win. Tottenham quietly going around their business, winning 2 of their last 2 games when they absolutely got annihilated by Arsenal in the last third game. So obviously that's an amazing result against Newcastle. Yes, they did concede in the dying embers of the game, and yes, Newcastle were down to 10 men, but Tottenham won't care because now they're literally on a 2-game win streak. So let's see if they can continue this momentum against West Ham. And I feel like, not yet, I'm not going to say absolutely definitively right now that they found their right match right now, but I feel like playing Ndombele in that cam role, freeing him up, which allows Højbjerg and Skip to do the dirty work, the defensive duties, covering him, getting those tackles, winning the ball back and giving it to him. It may be the perfect balance between what Nuno's trying to do, because obviously we know he likes to play defensive football, but he was playing 2 defensive before, playing like a 3-man midfield of workman who's like players. But now giving that extra player to help Son and Kane on the counter-attack or even in the flow of the game is going to do them wonders, creating more chances, because we knew Spurs all season have been struggling to create chances. Even when they were winning, they were only winning 1-0. But yeah, going in this game, it's a London derby, and we know West Ham always get up for these games, collecting 4 points out of a possible 6 last season. And I don't see West Ham losing this game. They're at home, the fans love this fixture, especially against Tottenham, probably their biggest rivals in the Premier League so far. So going in this game, I think it's going to be a thrilling, entertaining game, probably even dramatic, maybe even a sending off. But I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between these 2 sides.